Hello everyone. Today we'll be continuing with our previous topic in Passant. So basically what we'll try to do is we'll have a quick recap of what an en passant is and then try to apply it in different positions. So what an en passant is? An en passant is basically a special kind of pawn attack where you can capture your opponent's pawns. Keep in mind that en passant is not carried out on pieces, unlike your normal pawn attack. Also, when can a en passant carried out? An en passant can be carried out immediately after your opponent makes a 2 square pawn advance. And also, this 2 square pawn advance must be such that it has avoided the risk of being captured had it made just a single square advance. And how do you carry out the en passant? En passant is carried out as if the 2 square pawn advance was actually a single square pawn advance, and then you can carry out a normal pawn attack. As you can see in the pictures below, both of them yield to the same position. Now moving on, we'll try to apply it on different blacks moves where we can apply the en passant, right? So here, had black made this c pawn advance, then you cannot carry out the en passant because this is just a single square advance, right? Also, had black made this 2 square pawn advance, then also we cannot carry out this en passant because this pawn is not adjacent to our white pawn and thereby was not at all under the risk of being captured had it made a single square advance by your pawn. Now, had black made this move, then that would have given the option of white to carry out en passant in this position. As you can see, this pawn was actually avoiding the risk of being captured had it made just a single square advance. Now with this understanding, we'll try to apply our knowledge in this position, and we'll also try to understand how much valuable was the knowledge of en passant here, as black unfortunately in this position comes up with the move g7 to g5 check, assuming that white king has no other move to make in this position because all the squares are either guarded or blocked and his white king is under check. However, fortunately and unfortunately for black, white could play here an en passant, and thereby he has attacked black king with this check. Now in this position also the squares surrounding the black king are also either guarded by the bishop, knight or the king. Therefore this has led to a checkmate. Now as you can see with this example, the understanding of what an en passant is and how crucial it has been in the role that it has played for white to win this game. So moving on, let's try to apply once again our en passant concept in another position. Sorry, this is the position. So in this position, white probably under a lot of stress because as you can see in this position, black is aiming to promote his b2 pawn to queen, and then once his queen is on the board, it becomes very difficult for black to defend this position. So here, try to pause for a few minutes and come up with the best response for white. So welcome back. Um, in this position, had you come up with this pawn move, then that's very good. So with this move, black is being forced to either capture this pawn through en passant, or black has to make a king move away from its position in from this square. So now let's just try to rule out what this en passant would have done. In this stage, had black made an en passant, then we could capture this pawn back and then control this square. As you can see, we also have two pawns here because of these two pawns, we can either promote one of these pawns to a queen and then win the game. So in this position, en passant is not actually an option for black. In this position also, black cannot play to either of these three squares, because if he plays any of this move, then again once again black will be obstructed from promoting his pawn to queen, because this bishop is guarding the b1 square. So this leaves black with the only move in this position to make, that is here, to king d5. However, in this position, white makes a masterstroke by moving his king here to this position. And in this position, once again, black is either forced to make a king move or a pawn advance. And as you can see, if his king moves away from this square, then he has to lose this pawn, that is like this, bishop into e4, and thereby he will once again guard this b1 square. So in this position, it seems that black is having only one move, and that is to promote his queen. However, fortunately for white, he can come up with bishop f7 checkmate. As you can see, all the squares are guarded, or uh, are guarded either by the king or the bishop, and also black king is under check. So as you can see, despite of having a huge material advantage for black, white was able to checkmate black. I hope you like this video. Thank you very much.